Yemen's civil war has now entered its fourth year, leaving the country's citizens stuck in the middle of a proxy battle between the Saudi-led international coalition and Iran-backed rebels. It's led to the worst humanitarian crisis in the world. But that hasn't stopped one group of people from trying to get in: migrants from the Horn of Africa. In 2017 alone, more than 87,000 came to Yemen. Yemen is quite a dangerous country. There's a civil war been going on here for the last few years. Does that concern you guys at all?
لا والله.
عشان ما عندنا ما نجلس هنا محلة اليمن ما نجلس بس نروح في السعودية.
Things must be pretty bad in Ethiopia for you to come here to Yemen.
والله ما حلو كله خربان ما في شيء في البلاد حقنا حاجات كل شيء ما في شيء.
How do you know where to go?
بس لا على اللفظ نروح على اللفظ ما نعرف
بس نروح
الزفلت ما كذا
Is it very far?
30.
Yemen's nearly 1,200-mile coastline is difficult to police, making it relatively easy for boats to arrive. For most of the migrants travelling here, their goal is to find work in wealthier Gulf states like Saudi Arabia. Going through Yemen is far cheaper than cutting across the Mediterranean to Europe. But once crossing the Gulf of Aden, many arrive in one of Yemen's most dangerous provinces, Shabwa, an al-Qaeda stronghold and a migrant smuggling hub. How have the Yemenis treated you?
والله يمني والله كويس مرة. تعال يود الحرامي.
يقول لي ساعدك شوية.
تبغى نساعدك؟
بدي يساعد يخش في الطريق ثاني وبعدين
يربطوا.
يعمل يقول جيب له حول قروش ما عندنا قروش يقول جيب حول القروش. من فين نحول؟ ما عندنا.
Do you think everyone makes it over to Saudi?
الله أعلم ممكن يحصلها في موت ممكن في عيش في الله أعلم.
Yemeni security forces patrol the roads, detaining and deporting any migrants they find. We're just in the outskirts of Aden with these guys who are scouring the roads looking for illegal migrants. They say they're doing this on a daily basis. They're looking to pick up migrants and put them in this truck and take them to one of their detention centres. It didn't take this patrol long to find what they were looking for. These Ethiopians told us they'd been walking for 3 days. They surrendered immediately and were taken to the city's detention facility.
مكان حكومي هذا كان تابع للأحياء البحرية بس لو الآن حدود 30 سنة مهجور يعني.
The coalition-backed Interior Ministry operates the centre, and this man, Khaled Al-Wani, runs it. Because there's no centralised authority to process asylum claims and the country's government is barely functioning, Al-Wani has free rein to do as he pleases. He gives us rare access to the camp, but was keen to restrict what we could film. Wow. This is a lot of people. We can't go inside? Why? This looks insanely huge. How many people do you have crammed inside there?
كله في المكان هذا يمكن في حدود 700.
The camp was overcrowded and had no sanitation. Only the Eritreans were allowed outside their shed during the day because Al-Wani considered them less of a flight risk. The others were simply trapped inside.
يعني زي ما هذا الجو ذا يعني ما عاد يحتاج. هذا يعتبر مصيف. لو فكيت لهم الآن قلت لهم خلاص يلا تمشوا. اللي بيجري هنا واللي هنا واللي هنا واللي.
Al-Wani claimed he would return these migrants to Djibouti, where many of them set sail from. He said that in order to solve the migration problem, he works alongside the smugglers who illegally brought them to Yemen in the first place. He introduced us to one who happened to be at the detention centre while we were there. Al-Wani kept a close eye on us throughout our interview. How many migrants are you bringing over? How many migrants are you bringing over?
20 50.
That's okay. No, it's okay. How much money do you make from transporting migrants over here to Yemen?
$1,000 ريال 300 درهم.
How often are you bringing them over?
4 مرات يرجع هنا شهر. أيوة.
How much does the government pay you to do this, to detain the migrants and then to transport them back to Djibouti?
العمل هو وطني أكثر ما هو موضوع يعني ربح وما ربح. لكن برضه ما أقدر أقول لكم إنه والله إننا نخسر كذا.
We asked again if we could film inside the shed, but Alwani refused.
إحنا نقوم بإعادتهم عبر البحر، والبحر خطير. فإذا صار فيهم شيء، هذول ما في شيء يثبت، لكن كاميرتكم بتثبت إن هذول كانوا موجودين في المكان هذا.
So you're saying that you don't want us to film inside because you don't want it to come back to you that these guys might die?
أيوه.
Is that because that's happened before?
حصل يعني قبل أسبوعين يعني أنا وصلتهم لما جيبوتي ورجعوا في قلبة ثانية وانقلبت فيهم وماتوا.
After Alwani admitted that migrants leaving from his camp and who were under his care had drowned and died, we tracked down former detainees of the centre. They were on the boat when it capsized.
biyihiin waa abay horeyn yaa ku dhahaa mid oo orme eh naya xarigan qabso xarigan harigii hadii saanan waqtib saaka soo fuulahay hirki baf bihi baf mar waa sii deyna mar hariga ka kaka wallahi dib saharir.
How many people did you watch drown?
tawan way naga soo dhimatay 5 wiil 5 gabdhood naga soo dhimatay yaa ka dhintay iyo gabirtay oo walaalkay dhalay oo gabirtan dhashay.
At least 50 men, women and children drowned and died in this incident. Are there any human rights abuses that take place in here?
والله نعاملهم بكل احترام وبكل الأكل نجيب لهم والعلاج نجيب لهم والملابس نجيب لهم، لكن نقوم نقول لهم يعني ضرب أو شيء لا ما يسمح لنا صلة ضميرنا.
Even though Alwani and his guards were monitoring our movements, Vice News managed to speak to some of the migrants inside the camp.
It's fine. It's not comfortable. Look what people do here. They torture us every day. People, they are entering with the guns and torture us every day, every time.
Do they beat people?
Without reason. Until they are bleeding. And also we are sold, you know that is, we sell. People sell here.
When you say sell here, what do you mean?
Human trafficking. They told us we're not migrants. We are prisoners.
A major new report released by Human Rights Watch today corroborates our findings. They also accuse the Yemeni government of overseeing the rape, torture, and execution of African migrants and asylum seekers in the detention facility we visited. We sat down with the Interior Minister, Ahmed al-Misri, to ask him about the spiralling migrant crisis that he's supposed to be managing. Mr. Khalid Alwani runs a detention camp here in Aden. Tell me about his relationship with your government.
هو المفروض انه يتبع وزارة الداخلية.
So you're his boss?
طبعا.
And he goes by your orders?
المفروض طبعا يتبع تعليماتي.
What does that mean?
يعني احيانا يتمرد علينا.
I get the impression he's not completely under your control.
لا تحت سلطتنا اكيد.
There are allegations of serious human rights abuses going on there, including beatings, including extortions for money, including rape, including people being sent back illegally to countries that they're not from. And I've seen with my own eyes terrible prison-like conditions.
تمام منظمة اللاجئين لم يشيروا لي مثل هذا الكلام. فاستغرب ان ياتي من صحفية وما ياتيش من جهة المختصة المعنية باللاجئين. ترجم لها الكلام ده سواء.
Do you think that Mr. Alwani is doing a good job when it comes to handling this migration crisis?
لا سيء.
Then why are you allowing him to do this job? I mean, you're his boss.
هو رجل سيء بكل ما تحمل كلمة معنى. هذه قناعاتنا نحن في الوزارة. ما أريد أنا بإمكاني اتخذ قرار الآن فورا وأبدله.
Just days after our interview took place, the Interior Minister sacked Alwani. He told us that more than 50 military vehicles came to forcibly remove him from the detention centre. He denied any wrongdoing. The Interior Ministry have said they're planning to close the centre we filmed at and open a new facility. Around 90 migrants currently remain at the camp, not knowing where they'll be sent next.